Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so yeah, getting out the house is about 1 o'clock, man. 1 o'clock, and game starts at 5, so I figured I'd just go make a Hollywood run and just try to get back here within 4 hours time. It's pushing it a little bit given the fact that I'm leaving this late, but I really just didn't feel like rushing it to get out the house today to make time. This is why, you know, the Lakers schedule, I've been complaining about it so much because it's a burden. Every time they have either an early game or a back-to-back, it just doesn't give you enough time to really focus on everything else you want to do with your day if you got to cover the game. So it's like, here's another one of those early 5 o'clock games. I hate it. I loathe it a lot. There go my little puppy dog from yesterday. Every day, really. Always in this little area. But anyway, yeah, man. This morning's been pretty good. I woke up fresh, slept pretty good, had some really interesting dreams, man. I dreamed my mother was telling me something about the area that I often walk over on Western and Hollywood. I guess she had met somebody over there and was telling me about their neighborhood or something. It was weird. Like, she had mentioned some hood. I was like, without repeating it, I was like, what the heck she know about that? Well, she was like, I guess this person she met is from that hood. So she was screaming out his hood. I'm like, this is the weirdest. My mom would never do nothing like that in real life. But that is exactly how that dream went. Very strange stuff. So, yeah, I moved with the understanding that I kind of wanted to go over to that street. I often walk, but I just felt like being over there because of that part of my dream had me over there at a bus stop with my mother, and she was telling me about some dude she had met. Random. But, and there was another part of the dream that had me doing some type of job where we were climbing, me and some other person was climbing up some very, very unstable, narrow spiral stairs. Many flights with not a whole lot of suspension to protect you. And then when we got to the top of the stairs, it was like the job was to like do some type of balance. It's swinging on a bar or something to try to control. I don't know what the hell it was, but I was like, yo, this job ain't for me, man. This job is not for me. And there was another part of the dream where like we were driving, but for whatever reason, I decided I wanted to ride in the front seat. But the way that it was set up is that there was no suspension to the front seat, no wind, no seat belt or anything that would otherwise keep you secure. So I ended up having my face planted on the windshield at one point during the drive. It was just a bunch of wild dreams, man. Real wild dreams last night, man. I can't even tell you where they came from or why they were so vivid. But it was what it was, man. So, yeah, if anything, I can say I slept well. But, yeah, man, I feel pretty good. Much better than I did the day before last. Just continuing on the path of trying to feel better and get myself together, man. Whatever I got to do. Continue to maintain my my consistency. Yesterday, therapy really challenged me. It was good, though. It wasn't a negative thing. It was just challenging for my brain, and you know, therapist knows what she's doing, so she knows how to tap into spaces that are not comfortable for you and make you speak. So I got a little bit of that in yesterday. It made me consider a few things, praying last night, so got a lot of that in. Of course, I have this Laker back-to-back game tomorrow that I did homework on, the Dallas game that we will be playing tomorrow night, so I made sure I watched highlights on that team before dinner last night. And you know, just another routine night. Of course, tomorrow's room day. Sent a message to my uncle this morning reminding him of that. You know, same old routine, man. Nothing new on my end right now. Just trying to squeeze in some exercise today before the game starts at 5 o'clock. So, you know, be ready for that. Of course, the Lakers, it's going to be a different kind of game because they're sitting most of the big guys. Most of the stars are not going to be playing tonight, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of, in theory, a whole lot of entertaining basketball to watch, but I don't mind. I think it's the right strategy for what they got going on. So we talked about that in the pregame video. If you care about the Lakers, that was one where I didn't have to read off no stats because we had already played the same team that we're playing tonight on Sunday. So all the stat reading I did on Sunday morning. So that was much more what I prefer, but I want to be thorough in my Laker channel. So I often read off stats and stuff like that these days. Not the most fun to do, but I am getting better at it. So it's an interesting skill to read off a bunch of numbers like that really fast. But yeah, man, just maintaining, man. Asking God to continue to keep my my energy up. Keep my energy up. Help me make good decisions with my meals. Help me consistently keep my exercise going and these walks going, and just trust Him to take care of some of the details of what it is that it's outside of my control. Align me with timing. Yesterday I was so certain I was going to be late for my therapy session, but I had asked God to make sure that I got there on time. I knew I was behind schedule on how I operate, but what I often don't consider is the fact that I get there early doing it that way. I'm usually sitting there for about 20 minutes before she actually comes to see me. I found myself walking into that building on time at 2 o'clock exactly is when I found myself going to that front door. Couldn't have been on better schedule, and I truly thought I was going to be late. So that was a real blessing there. Hoping the Lord allow me to meet the same time of the day. But even though I got 4 hours to do everything I want to do, I don't doubt that it'll work it out just like it did yesterday. So yeah, man, that's really what's on my mind. Just wanting to do things a certain way and hoping that I have the time to do it. And it's always a way to amend what I'm doing. I very easily watch the game somewhere else on my phone, just like I would. But I like doing things the way I like doing them, so I end up locking myself into what can and cannot be done, as opposed to actually saying, I can do it this way if I really want to. The same phone I'm watching the game on at home would be the same phone I'd be watching anywhere else. But that is a certain level of focus that I want to pay to the game in order to commentate on it and all of that, be knowledgeable. And I don't want to be outside of my comfort zone in order to keep that focus. So that's how I look at it. But just kind of letting God handle all of that right now. My intention is clear to get some exercise today, and I don't feel like I've gotten as much exercise over the last month as I'd like to. I haven't been as consistent with getting out as I know that I've prided myself in being. Part of that had to do with the schedule of the Lakers and trying to meet that in the way that I like to. Part of that had to do with myself and just not choosing to when I had an opportunity. So today I have an opportunity and I'm choosing to. And so here we are. But yeah, man, ain't nothing else going on. I didn't pay too much attention to what else was going on. I can with Gaza, I can update the fact that the person that we saw burning was yet another press member, and he did end up losing his life later on. I thought he died on the spot, but he actually didn't. They were able to get to him and put him in the hospital for about 24 hours before he passed away. But that individual was one of the more prominent, if I'm not mistaken, one of the more prominent press members who've been following the situation. So I don't doubt the man was targeted. But that's just how this goes, man. Anybody that's trying to raise awareness on the ground out there, Israel's been showing you since the beginning that they want to target those people, make an example of those people, so that nobody else will try to do what they do. But they ain't inspiring anybody to stop. It just gives birth to more people who are just as resilient, just as determined, whether it costing them their lives or not, to speak out against this genocide. I mean, you're killing children. You're not going to scare anybody into not speaking, and I guess that's the disconnect, because they're so warped and depraved in their own minds that they think they could bully people into not protecting children. That's not how that works. That's not how that actually works, Israel. You're not going to be able to bully people with the threat of their own lives into allowing you to harm their kids. That's not how that works. Natural energy is to face all fears to protect children. That's what a grown person is going to do if they got any damn humanity about them. They're going to protect children regardless. They're going to throw their lives at it and be willing to suffer for that cause every time. Face their worst fears. That's one of the most effective motivating factors is having a parent have their child be at risk. And if it's one of the most motivating factors is children in this world for grown people to face their own fears. So that Israel is saying, well, we're going to kill these kids and you better not tell anybody or we're going to hurt you. It's like, nah, we'll take the pain. That's what most people who are of God and who are responsible adults are going to say. Yeah, we'll risk it. We'll risk it. So it's the depravity of those who want to annihilate an entire people for the sake of their own asses that would ignore such obvious psychology that spans across not only the human race but many other animals who will throw themselves at everything to protect their children. So yeah, I don't know, man. But that's really what it is. I've been watching this for as long as it's been going on, man, since October 7th. They still trying to get back for October 7th, apparently. I guess whatever happened on October 7th, the way they see it is they just need to keep killing people for like 600 days to get back or something. I don't know. It's chosen math, I suppose. Or at least that they are so depraved once again that they want us to think that that's what's motivating them. It's something that happened one random day that they have to keep doing duplicates of that to the enemy's 540 days. They want us to think that is what is motivating them to do this. And then furthermore, that we would take that as truth simply because, well, obviously that's what we would do. That's what chosen people do, not what we would do, because we shouldn't look at ourselves as mattering that much, but because they're chosen, they should want to duplicate their pain 600 plus times over upon their enemies, and we should accept that because they are chosen, and we should not try to do that to them because, again, they are chosen. So therefore, if they harm us once, we shouldn't want to hurt them 600 times for that. That's just something that's reserved for them, and that's all agreeable. We should all agree to that. That's their logic. It's just like, they're so detached from reality, man. That's the problem with these people. Their level of detachment and depravity is beyond our imagination. It's like, y'all really think that's a reasonable alibi? That ain't even what you're actually doing, but that's what you think we'll buy. God, you guys are nuts, like out of your damn minds. That's exactly what I gotta say to all the Zionists. You are crazy as hell, bro. Depraved and spoiled beyond repair. Spoiled is the word. So that you have allowed yourself to believe that this is something that other people actually would agree to. You are out of your mind, man. Whatever's in them books is completely detached from reality. That's what y'all need to understand. This is craziness to all of us. To everybody who's not you, this is absolutely insane. And that you would think God would send you out on this mission. That there would be a living God that would send you out on this mission. To be this far detached from everybody else, and then furthermore better than everybody else, as in being attached to everybody else, somehow detached from everybody else, makes them acceptable in regards to doing crazy, ridiculous things. It's a nightmare of a world their mind actually are. Like, it's a nightmare of a world they have floating around in their skulls. It certainly ain't the world we're living in. But hey, man, it could have fooled them because everybody who represents us is going along with their delusions with them. So long as they keep paying them bills and keep protecting their sex secrets, whatever Israel say, they chosen, buddy. We gonna go along with it. Just don't tell anybody that we're this or that. However it goes. Weird sex shit really is what they are probably covering up. I think it's what it boils down to. A bunch of our people that we have voted in office are actually just sex freaks doing illegal stuff, probably to the young people. And as a result of Israel not only knowing their secrets, but likely enabling them more opportunities to feed their demons, they let Israel do whatever they want to do. Just keep on allowing us to go to the island. and don't tell anybody we're there. Like, that's what I think is actually going on. That is what I really believe this boils down to. Just a bunch of depraved, privileged sex freaks getting an opportunity to fulfill their wildest dreams and the things that Israel provides them. All the trafficking, all of your little missing loved ones that have been lost for many years, they're on an island somewhere at the behest of sex freaks that control our U.S. government. And anytime they take a disappearing, a sabbatical anywhere, they're likely going to these islands to get off on missing people. I really believe that. I really believe that. At Epstein Island shit, they got about 30 of those all over the world. Probably 30 or more, maybe more. We're probably more than 100,000, 200,000 people there against their will as sex slaves for the U.S. government and many other governments all over the world. That is what I think is actually happening. And it's Israel that is doing it. They're the ones that are providing this, in my opinion. I think this. This makes sense to me. And that's why your government is so hell-bent on putting Israel above you, American friends. This is why the UK, the same thing. Canada, the same thing. They are all likely provided something by Israel that fulfills their sickest worldly desires that are absolutely and utterly deplorable. Things that are probably worse than what we think are things that they're probably into and are allowed to engage in so long as they keep voting the way that Israel want them to. Just a theory. But I guarantee you, it's not a crazy one. It's not a crazy one. Epstein Island was probably just one of many. And so that's why I think it's important that we start to read energy better, especially as it pertains to people who are supporting Israel. Start reading their energy. Look into these people. Look into their past. Look at the stuff going on around those people. You may find out that they got some weird, devious ways, and then furthermore that they've been allowed to feed those demons at the behest of the Zionist Jew. This is exactly what I think is going on there. And this is how they got them in their back pocket. It's how they continue to let these people kill children while they support it. Because it's either feed my demon or expose my demon. That's what they're faced with. It ain't enough that you're going to expose it, no, but you're providing what I need to continue to feed. I'm going to for sure keep telling you and telling everybody that it's okay that you do whatever you want to do, so long as you keep giving me my fix. And that's exactly what your government is doing, I think. That's what it is. From top to bottom, left to right. You think the lobbying money, $1 million here, $5 million a year is what they really eating? No, that ain't what they really eating. They eating on some sick fetishes. That's what they eating off of. And you think anybody's gonna investigate this? Please. You think your CIA, your FBI gonna investigate this? Yeah, no. No. They're not. So that's why I'm telling people, man, I know this should sound wild to a lot of people who just believe the world is exactly what they think it is, but when you see what's going on under the curtain as it pertains to what it is that's visible to us, then certain other things don't seem so weird. When you see what they're doing to these kids, it's like, what else makes sense? When you see what they're doing to these people in Gaza, what else? You got a better idea why they're so fine with this? A lot of these people are parents. A lot of these people are elected officials. People who went to school for 14 years. Higher education for 12 years or what have you. And they're comfortable with Israel destroying children. So for what? For a couple $1 million of lobby money? No, fam. That ain't incentive enough. Some of these dudes getting like $600,000. You think that's enough? No, hell no. There got to be other incentives involved. There got to be something else deeper, more sinister, in my opinion, than just a couple $100,000, $2-3 million. No, please. No. There is a feeding and a fear factor. A feeding factor and a fear factor that is pretty damn obvious when you read the energy there. And so for me, it's like, I'm not afraid of this, man. I'm not afraid to tell the truth about these, what it is that I think is there, man, or tell people what it is I think I see there. I ain't, because there is a living God, and like I said, these people are killing children, bro. And they're co-signing it, and they're gaslighting everybody who has something to say about it. So I'm going to think the worst of them. It ain't even about, oh, well, man, what about if I'm wrong? Who cares? Who cares? Let's just be honest. Even if what it is that I'm saying could be possible isn't possible, it is literally okay to smear people like this. Let's just be honest. Is there ever a more reasonable space from which to smear somebody than what it is we've seen as genocide? Like, what else is going to stop them? Obviously, they're not ashamed of what they're doing. Obviously, they don't see no reason to be better in any way. Obviously, they don't want to protect these kids in any way. Obviously, they're not willing to do anything on the up and up as it pertains to people who are telling the truth about it. They're smearing all of us who are telling the truth about it. They're deporting people who don't need to be deported, should not be deported from this country because they speak up against this. Smearing everybody who's on the other side of this situation. Smearing the hell out of these people. They're not really terrorists. They just tell you they're terrorists. They spend a good portion of their marketing propaganda money on smearing the people that they're bullying and killing and terrorizing. Like, I'm not sure how we're supposed to handle them, but I'm telling you that I think the worst of these people. You do with that whatever you think. You do with that whatever you wish, but I think the worst of these individuals. I really do. And they've given me every reason to. Investing in the deterioration of my own people and all different types of stuff that we talked about a million times. It's usually one of them behind it. I find all the worst stuff I can think of, it's usually them behind it. All the things that we have to pay into in order to have our livelihood, it's usually them behind it. And what is their main goal? As we've mentioned 1,006 times, destroy the Palestinian people by way of their children first. I'm not interested in anything about these people anymore as it pertains to, well, give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's something. There's nothing. There's nothing. It's just what they're doing and what they're trying to continue to do. That's literally all it is. So y'all can go about trying to be fair to these people if you want. Hey, that's your business. As for me, I think they're sex sickos, personally. I think that's what's driving them to support this nonsense. I mean, after all, they are openly supporting rape, are they not? Openly supporting this as a country, like trying to break people out because they've been arrested for rape. Get them out of there. This is egregious. We'll burn the whole prison down if you don't free these rapists. Like, what? You think I'm gonna think anything less than the worst of them? I don't know what you're looking at, but if you're looking at what I'm looking at, you definitely think the worst of these individuals and the people who support them. The absolute worst. There ain't nothing worse than them. They are the worst thing there is. And so that's pretty much my point of view, man. Seen a lot, man, in this genocide. Through my phone, by way of my phone. Fortunate enough to not be in those situations, but I've seen a lot. I've seen enough at this point. I'm not interested in being fair to them or thinking that maybe this is not so bad, or maybe that they're so fearful for reasons that are reasonable that they would allow this to happen. I'm not interested anymore. At this point, we're fighting against the devil, and that's all it is to it. So whatever comes of this, conversation, I'm fine with whatever makes it so that we are smearing these individuals and putting them in a position to look as bad as they ultimately should look in a world that's dystopian to the realities of their behavior. I'm for it. You don't have to, at this point, prayerfully speaking, I'm not sure how the Lord wants me to look at these people or handle these people as it pertains to myself and what it is that I'm seeing. I'm supposed to play fair with them. I'm praying for a way to see that being the strategy there. But at this point, I think they all deserve the chair. And I don't trust that anybody, and I mean anybody, in this country or in the Western world is going to put them in it. And that's highly unfortunate for the Palestinian people. It's highly unfortunate for the people of the resistance who are trying to protect these children in the Middle East. That we are so brainwashed that we wouldn't do something to stop this, to effectively put an end to this. Not you. Not to mention that this is something that is continued for an extended period of time. It's just ridiculous. And so that's really what I'm saying to you all. I'm tired of having these conversations, but I'm much more tired of seeing people not, if that makes any sense. I'm much more tired of turning on the TV and not hearing a legitimate conversation about any of these things that are happening. That I gotta go on side sites, so to speak, to get the truth about what's going on in these places where children are being terrorized. This is craziness. Let's just be honest. That's absolute craziness. And we got people who are family people, people who have children, who would do anything to protect children, who are unaware of this, but find themselves in front of a screen 7 hours out of each day. And ain't nobody painting this picture for them to understand, nor normalizing them caring about what's going on in that land. I'm much more tired of that than I am about having this conversation on my channel. People will speak about whatever they feel in regards to themselves and things that affect their community, but don't give one damn about what's going on in the Middle East to real, actual children. Children just like yours. They don't care. Their politics won't allow them to consider it. It's not safe. It's too political and all these different things that are just absolutely and utterly brainwashed, man. It's just brainwashed. A lot of y'all go to church every Sunday to connect with God and will be quiet about genocide. You are brainwashed. And you need to know it. They did a number on your head. They done a complete number on your head. And you need to snap out of that stuff so that you can protect these people who can't protect themselves, so that you can put an end to the evil that's harming them, because it's within your power to do so, America. It's within your power to do so, UK. It's within your power to do so, Australia. It's within your power. If not for you buying in and being brainwashed by the behavioral structures of allowing Zionism to terrorize the world. That is exactly what's going on there. They are terrorists. They have been terrorists. They're going to continue to be terrorists. Ain't no way around it. They're going to keep telling you the bad guys are the good guys and the good guys are the bad guys, and that you need to fear people who wouldn't harm you, whose energy, if you read just halfway properly, would be friendly to you and neutral to you. They got you thinking those are the people that are looking to jump on your plane and bomb the world and all these different things that these people who are telling you that are actually accomplishing. If you would just look in their direction. They're not even doing a good enough job in protecting you from seeing it, because they have you warped so much to not even look in that direction. They don't have to protect themselves on that front because they know you're not interested. They know you believe them when they tell you the good guy is the bad guy. So they don't have to cover their backside in other areas because your interest isn't over there. This is what they are benefiting from. Why are you still thinking, oh, one side of Republican, Democrat, oh, if Biden was in office, or if Kamala was in office, all our lives would be so much easier. These people are controlled by the same entity, and their interest is to destroy children. So whether it's Democrat or Republican, well, as long as you're still interested in that way of doing things, you are going to play into the hands of the people who pay into both sides, whose pure intention is to do nothing but harm children in hopes of annihilating the entire race of people. This is what's true. This is exactly what's happening there. While y'all focus on other things, while you're focused on your own politics, while you focus on your own point of view and your own goals and all these different things that matter so much to you, they're using your tax dollars and your voting power and your support and your mind warping focus on everything but them to continue to annihilate an entire race of people. They will use your racism, your reaction to racism, to continue to further divide you. The cultures that don't serve you at all, that reflect poorly upon your face and your name throughout the course of the world. The only people who agree with a lot of stuff that you do are people next to you who don't look any better for doing the things that you do than you do. These are the same things that they're using to keep us from focusing on what it is that they're doing, which is abusing these people. And because you trust them so much, because you've been controlled by them so much, because you believed them for so long, and all of their lies and all their propaganda and all their smear campaigns and all their telling you who you are and who you need to be focused on and who you need to be angry with and who you need to be fearful of. And listen to the same people tell you the same things they've been telling you for 100 years and make you believe that you need to fear people that look like me and fear people that look like the people that are terrorizing, so that they can continue to look innocent in the eyes of all of us while they continue to do the things that ultimately we wouldn't even do if we were in our worst. Things that we wouldn't even do if we wanted to get back at somebody. Lows that we wouldn't even dig into if we were angry enough to do something horrible. I'm telling you, they do this stuff for fun and they support one another while they do it. And we're supposed to sit up here and just be so stupid and so warped into long-term propaganda that we don't even consider it. And I'm sorry, but their propaganda didn't work on all of us. I'm sorry, but some of that stuff wasn't strong enough over our mindsets to keep us from paying attention to what they're doing with their left hand while their right hand is waving. It wasn't strong as it needed to be to commit this genocide in front of all of us. They overstepped their hand. They over-assumed that God didn't exist or was aligned with their bullshit. They overplayed their hand on this earth. And that is exactly why they think they can get away with this without anybody like myself or anyone else who's speaking up on it saying anything. That's not true. They overplayed their hand. They felt they held the world and everything they controlled for what it was. They didn't understand everything they need to understand to truly behold the world properly. This is why they're being exposed. This is why they have a whole world of people protesting against them. This is why they're getting smeared everywhere they look in places they don't control. Because there is a God. Because the world was not indifferent or so warped by the stuff they control that we would allow them to do whatever the hell they wanted. They were not chosen by anybody to do just any old thing. If they are not even supposed to be in the land that they're fighting to keep, they can't even inhabit that place, a good portion of them, without getting skin cancer. They are out of place. They're believing their own lies and they're moving in arrogance, not in faith. They're moving in unfairness. Their math is backwards. They're seeking something that ain't there, believing in something that isn't real. That's what the Zionist is doing. That is exactly what the Zionist is doing. Their math is wrong. They believe in that math. It's telling them they're wrong, but they will refuse to change their way of doing things. Because they're so arrogant as to think that even if the math is wrong, they're right. And however that confusion works, just like God gave them something but also doesn't exist at the same time. Same confusion that powers them forward to continue doing it. There's nothing real there. The only thing that's real is what they're doing to the people that they're harming. The only thing that's real is the God that they refuse to acknowledge is greater than them and didn't choose them for anything. The only thing that's real is the consequences that are coming their way for continuing to do all of the things that wage war against God, that they ultimately benefit from and continue to celebrate. Their power isn't real, their wealth isn't real, their perception of what it is they are isn't real, the perception of what it is their enemy isn't real. Nothing about the Zionist Jew is real. Not even the support that's coming from the people that they continue to feed. The moment that feeding goes away, they're going to turn their attention to them and destroy them. If they have any opportunity to do so, they will destroy one another. The white supremacists and the Zionist Jew are destined to war with one another. And if you allow them to, they'll likely destroy the whole earth. This is why somebody has to be an adult in the room. If it ain't going to be the Middle East, it needs to be one of the Orient countries, China. Somebody needs to be a damn adult in the room. Before the supremacist white and the Zionist Jew white kill us all. Now you could say I'm the worst person in the world, but you just keep watching. You keep watching. This may be the worst thing for me to say. Oh, you're so racist. It's so taboo. Oh my God. You can say all of that you want to say. But this is what is actually taking place. Now that somebody is in my skin color, in my position, is willing to say something, it should be the least of your worries. And that's further brainwashing if you're so appalled that this comes out of my mouth. It should come out of my mouth. As I told you guys a million times, I do not do anything for the people alive around me today. Most of them are warped by something that it's going to take 2 lifetimes for them to overcome. I am not worried about y'all. No disrespect. It just is what it is. I can't be preoccupied with what you're worried about. You are warped by what they control and have been controlling for a long time. You're afraid to speak out against something that your instincts should tell you to throw your entire self at. Your credibility sucks. Just being honest with y'all. Good 90% of the world's credibility is trash. Because they're afraid to speak out against fake power. They don't even believe in God. And you think I'm supposed to go against him? Are you crazy? You believe in the Zionists. You believe they're going to go ahead and move forward and continue to seek success and impose wrath on the rest of us. I'm not interested in that crap. That's not what's real. They're the loser. God is real. The harm that they're causing is real. They move in utter confusion. Why the hell am I afraid of them, and why are you? Why do you think that anything they have is secure and anything that they hold over your head can be held for any length of time? Why do you think you're secure in their arms when they bear arms against the innocent? You're lost. I'm not worried about you or what you think or how many views you give me. If your mind isn't in a space where you can clearly see that you need to be proactive in stopping them, then you don't hold any credibility in the mind of the enlightened. You don't hold any credibility in those who are connected to the Holy Spirit. I'm talking to the people who are next, who are coming. That's who I'm interested in. I'm trying to show them that somebody cared, somebody was awake. Somebody wasn't allowing them to just do this without speaking out. Somebody saw burning men and children dead and said, yo, this isn't cool no matter who's doing it. And I'm not afraid of the people who are doing it. For fear of my own hide, when I'm throwing my mortality at stuff that they sell me, that I ultimately welcome in my life naturally through culture. You think I'm going to be afraid to speak against them for fear it may kill me? If I buy anything they sell me, it's going to kill me. The hell am I worried about that type of stupidity? That ain't it. You could think for 5 minutes and see through that bullshit. And you want me to follow a world that is following that? Y'all want me to be worried about the credibility of my voice in the presence of minds like this? Are you crazy? It's like me coming to the dark ages and trying to be credible with people who are trying to rub sticks together to create fire. I'm not interested in making them happy. I'm trying to show them what they don't see. I'm trying to introduce technology to them, and reality to them, and science to them, and cleanliness to them. I'm not interested in trying to get views off of them. They don't know the first thing about what's best for them. That's exactly how I look at a lot of y'all. 90% of y'all, that's exactly how I see you. Primitive. Stupid in some cases as it pertains to what it is you will allow under your nose, off of your tax dollar, in the name of yourself. And then the same people who keep on taking your health care, driving you into one quit job away from poverty, continue to play in your faces, continue to gaslight you, continue to tell everybody they're better than you, and proceed to expect you to agree with it, who don't even respect your mind enough to make their actions and their words match. They don't think of you as even smart enough to be able to see that the case is that. And you want me to worry about what you think or what I'm saying. You want me to chase what you're chasing. I am not wired for that. Let's get views. I don't care about no damn views. Who's paying attention to me? What's going on in their head? Are they part of the solution or problem? I got 400,000 views of airheads who are going after stuff that ain't going to help this process. You're trying to appeal to people who need to change so that the world can be safer. Not continue to reinforce that everything they're doing is fine and that they're fine and that what they're interested in is most important, and all of that shit is spiritually bankrupt. Clearly spiritually bankrupt. If it boils down to watching Palestinian children burning, dying, flesh on the top of buildings and rubble and all types of weird stuff that I'm seeing, if that's what it boils down to, all your little views and all your little clout and all your chasing money and all that stuff, man, y'all Stone Age morons. Ain't nobody in your pack worth listening to at all. Bunch of cavemen. Think I care what a caveman think? Give a damn what a caveman think? You need to listen to what the hell I got to say. Put some years on his life. Worried about appealing to his interests and his cultures, appealing to what is matters to him. He don't know shit. He's a fool. A lot of y'all say you ain't gonna help your cause. Nobody's gonna listen to you if you insult everybody. Somebody needs to insult y'all asses. You're making the world worse with your culture. It doesn't do nothing to raise awareness for the evil that's going on in this world and what controls us. You're in the bubble. You're in that matrix. You're playing into the devil's hands. You think I'm supposed to be nice to you? No, I'm supposed to be nice to you. The world is safer with you gone. If you act like that and you believe that way and you think that way, children are safer without you. Why are you trying to chase yours? I need mine. Everything's custom for me. I want to look pretty. I want to look handsome. I want to have the most money. All of that for which your ambition is pointed at is making the world unsafe for the Palestinian child. I'm not interested in you. I'm trying to help my politics, my gang. I don't care about none of that, bro. All of y'all, cavemen, bro. Cavemen. The world is worse with a bunch of y'all. We need enlightened spirits, people who are unselfish in nature, people who are connected with God, people who are trying to be better at the very least, people who at least want to contribute to the uplifting of everyone, not just themselves. You're compounding the problem for being the way that you're raised to be in this place. Your classism, racism, sexism, dummism, whatever the hell isms y'all going to adapt to tomorrow, all of it, counterproductive, plays straight into the Zionist hands. The world is worse for you, I guarantee it. You've seen what I've seen over the last 550 days. Likely you have some thought like this in your head at some point during this process. Likely. It ain't just about holding people accountable who are doing this. It's about holding people accountable who are watching them doing it and doing nothing about it. That is just as egregious. You can stand here and act like you're high and mighty because you go to church once a Sunday or whatever it is you do. But at the end of the day, if you're silent to what it is that we've been talking about, God's got a bone to pick with you, buddy. If you have any inclination that this is happening, you're not doing something about it. He has a bone to pick with you. As a whole generation of people, man. He has a bone to pick with you. And a lot of us are going to go along with it because we're afraid of powers that are not real. Human powers, structural money powers, afraid of poverty. You're poor of the mind. You're poor of the spirit. You're poor anyway. You're one job away from being poor. And you're adhering to the people who are forcing that boot upon your head by continuing to be silent to the evil that they do. And I'm supposed to sit up here and adhere to you? Why? When I know better, that's foolish. What's the point? If you know better, you do better. If you don't know better, you can do stupid shit. It's not deeper than that. And so I know better, I do better, I speak better. There's no way around it. I can't help that I can't dumb myself down. I'm not going to do it. I can't help that I'm just not warped into the propaganda of allowing people to kill children in my face. I'm not going to do it. They can't do that just because they believe they're chosen. They can't do that just because they believe that they're better than everybody else, have all the power in the world. You got to hold people accountable no matter what they have or hold. Otherwise, we might as well all run around and do all types of stuff we want to do and just let chaos be what it is. If you're going to let the ones in power do anything they want to do just because they have power, then what's to keep us from, without power, doing whatever we want to as well? So what point? Those with the most expected to show the best and have the most responsibility in their hearts, the most wisdom because they harbor the most. If they're doing the worst, what's to keep us from being worse? Everybody for themselves and nobody gonna have anything. Because it's gonna be the ones who have everything hoarding everything. If that's the culture we're gonna continue with. Make it make sense. You're going at people who don't even have any power. You're looking at each other because of differences or because of cultures or because of politics. You can't harm one another. Nobody has any power over you but the people who you allow to do whatever they want to do. And people want to get mad at Luigi. For what? At least he had the balls to do something. Bdf 44, thank y'all for watching. I'm out.